The Democratic-Republican action in March 1809 was a desperate 11th-hour pivot from a disastrous economic policy, fraught with negative consequences and political opportunism. As Thomas Jefferson's presidency concluded, the crippling economic fallout from his signature foreign policy, the Embargo Act of 1807, forced the hand of the Democratic-Republican Congress. That act, which had unilaterally banned all American foreign trade, faced with a complete collapse of the national economy and an open threat of secession from the northeastern states, the Democratic Republicans were compelled to act. They passed the Non-Intercourse Act on March 1, 1809, just 3 days before Jefferson left office and James Madison was inaugurated. This move was widely seen as a manipulative act of political cowardice by Jefferson, who effectively repealed his failed policy, but immediately replaced it with a slightly softer, equally flawed one, thus handing the crisis off to his successor. The new law officially lifted the embargo against all nations except Great Britain and France. This maintained the core policy of economic coercion, but allowed the rest of the country to resume some trade. However, the consequences were still profoundly negative. The act was unethical because it was still based on the failed premise that the U.S. could force the hand of two great European powers. It was easily bypassed by American merchants, making the U.S. government look weak and incapable of protecting its interests or enforcing its laws. Crucially, by singling out the world's two major naval powers, the act did nothing to alleviate the tensions over impressment and ship seizures. Instead, it exacerbated the conflict with Great Britain, setting the nation firmly on a path toward the War of 1812, a military and political struggle for which the country was wholly unprepared. The action in March 1809 was thus less a responsible legislative fix and more a politically necessary, yet deeply flawed and consequential, deferral of an escalating foreign policy failure.